Mr. Wes Cannon, we are back. Third episode, 2024 WSOP. It's been almost a week since we've recorded our last one. It's been a busy last week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has gone on.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff we can go through.
I think we ended last week right near the, before we both had bags for day 2 of the Mystery Millions, right?
Yeah, we were about to play online on Sunday.
Yep.
I think the first announcement I need to make to all the fans it's a somber one.
All right.
I'm not going to be making another run in the Gladiator.
Yes, Mr. Wesley. Hey, that's okay though. Like,
yeah,
you ran Pier last year in it, and now you know how dusty that tournament is actually.
Oh man, yeah. So we're actually recording on day 1C of the Gladiator, and so I could play today or tomorrow, but my plan is to just play online these next 2 days.
Yeah, take the weekend and play online.
Yep. The good news is I did win a little tournament last night for 2,600.
That's nice. It's not even so. 26 obviously isn't piles, but it's like it again.
It's a 33.
It's huge ROI then. But also, it's just I think what's also important with that is that it builds momentum, right?
It does, and it felt
confidence.
Yeah, so it was nice to win one. I felt like I was playing really well online last night. I actually have felt like I've played quite well for the majority of the time. But yeah, I figured it was a good time to just take a little break. I fired 4 bullets in the Gladiator and just got nothing going. Like, I think I peaked at 2 starting stacks.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm like, God, what a dusty tournament this is.
Yeah.
What kind of idiot would play this?
It does. I mean, I don't know. It's also just like, it's fun because I did fire it too. And I sit down and the players there are just exactly the type of players I want to play with. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just like you have to beat so much variance just by the structure.
Absolutely.
So,
and
I didn't get anything going in that. Let's back up here a little bit and talk about before the Gladiator about how the last week went.
Let's do that. So, starting with day 2 of the Mystery Millions,
we got a big congratulations to give out.
Yeah. So, as many of you might know, DJ Buckley,
a fellow Minnesota player,
Minnesota grinder. He plays tons of MSPTs. You'll kind of see him everywhere.
I've probably played with every stop I've ever been to. I've seen DJ Buckley at.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, he pulled one of the $2 million bounties. So,
yep.
Congratulations to him.
Congrats, DJ. That's
awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, and so not coincidentally, but I spoke with him a couple days later, and I'm like, hey, did you treat yourself to a nice dinner that night? What'd you do? And he's like, oh, I've been sick in my room the past couple of days, so.
Yeah, I saw him a couple days ago, and he said like he had taken 3 days off after, and if the Mystery Millions, if that wasn't a day 2, he wouldn't have even played that day. Like, he wasn't even feeling good.
And then how sick is it that he wins $1 million and the first bird he fires is a 300?
Yeah, he just gets in a $300.
And then bags over $1 million as well.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet too.
And then also want to give a congratulations to our Discord member and also a friend of ours, Leo Pinamonti. I probably slaughtered your last name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, congrats. So he got second place, or he chopped MGM.
Yeah, $250K or something.
Yeah, he got $30-something thousand.
$30-something K. And then we had another Discord member hit another score this week. Jerry, I believe. Is his name?
Yeah. What was the final deal? It was just last night as we were recording.
Yeah.
It was also an MGM.
Yeah.
It was like a 4-way chop.
It was a $100K guarantee 4-way chop, I think he said, and he pulled out like $20K.
There we go.
Yeah, so congrats to him.
Yeah, congratulations.
I dusted the Mystery Millions day 2. Nothing too exciting, though. This one hurt a little bit, but I sat down with 515K. Mm-hmm. We came back to 40K BB, so I had 13 bigs. First orbit folds to small blind, who was the chip leader. He lost a big pot. It comes back to me. I thought I had him covered. He goes all in the small blind. I look down at ace, queen off, snap. He's got ace 5. We flop a queen in the window, and I'm like, yes, bounty. We count it all up, and he's got 1 big blind more than me.
That's annoying. At least you won it.
That would have been $1,000 big blind at minimum.
At minimum, yeah.
So at least I won that. So then I got moved tables, got to a new table. got into the same position where I have Maxwell Young on my right. He's a pretty successful poker player. Anyways, it folds a small blind. He jams. I snap off with pocket fours. He has ace four suited, and we lose that one to bust. So I cashed that for $2,700 or something like that.
Yeah, I busted a little before. I cashed it for 22 something. So I had a bit of a tilty day too, because I just I think it was a few hands in. So I was in the small blind, and I just paid the big blind. So I had like 520K. I'd started with 600. Short stack in middle position goes all in for 150K. So under four bigs. The button who has both of us covered, he calls. And I look at ace 10 offsuit in the small blind. And I'm like,
do we send?
I'm for sure ahead of the button here.
Yeah.
Because he would have re-raised. And then this has to be a good spot. And I was like, do I call and just try and flop something?
Yeah.
Because I just figured if I go all in, I'm going to be at risk.
It's interesting because you could have multiple options here.
Yeah. I decided to shove just because I'm like, I'm ahead of the button for sure. And,
Yeah.
you know, I might as well just try and get win a big pot here. Big blind folds, button folds. So I was shocked. It was
So you scooped that pot?
no.
Oh.
The guy who's all in is still in there.
Oh, duh. Yeah. Sorry, it's early. We're recording this as we're just waking up.
Yeah, but it's still a great spot.
Sorry, did you have him covered?
No.
You didn't.
So
Okay.
he called four big blinds, and he didn't call another. It would have been another 9 blinds.
Yeah, for 2 bounty potentials.
For 2 bounties.
Yeah.
So I have ace 10 off. The guy who's all in has ace 5. He has the ace of clubs with a 5.
Yes, I remember this now.
Ace of diamonds, 10 of clubs. So I'm like,
It's a jackpot spot.
yeah, not only am I in a position to win a bounty where I'm a huge favorite, but there's a dead extra 150.
Didn't you say he has more than you? Am I tripping out here? What is life?
So middle position goes all in for 150K.
Okay, yeah.
Button calls.
Oh.
I jam small blind. Button somehow folds even though he has me covered.
Okay.
So the guy's
back on track.
Yes. So the guy's all in for a little under 4 bigs, and so I have a chance at a bounty, and there's just a dead 150 in there.
Yeah, that's nice. It's huge.
Flop is 9-9-4, 2 clubs. So he has some chop outs, and he has the ace of clubs. I have the 10 of clubs. Turn is deuce of clubs. So he picks up the flush draw and the wheel draw.
And the chop draw.
And then, another chop draw, obviously. And then he just rivers the 5 of spades. And and actually a couple hands later, I won a flip. So I had some chips after that. But then I just kind of chipped down. And then once the blinds went up, I jammed 12 blinds with ace 10 suited, ran into kings, and that was it. Man, there's some, mostly on a day 2, if things just don't go my way, it's kind of like, okay, already in the money, whatever. But in this case, I felt kind of tilty because, you see everyone getting their bounties. And
it's a unique experience. This is my first time playing the Mystery Millions this year. I didn't play it last year because I came in a little bit later. But, like, you're sitting there, and then I didn't even realize this because I guess it's the same as last year. Maybe you can confirm. I don't remember if you made day 2. But I'm sitting down, and they have these massive screens in the middle of the room with sound effects. It's like chests popping off. Just, like, lots of sound effects, and it's loud. And every single person who knocks someone out, there's like a list of 100 people waiting for their name to pop up on the screen with a bunch of different sound effects. A chest opens, and then it's like either $1,000 comes out, $2,500 comes out, $5K comes out, $10K comes out, and then anything above that, you get a golden chest opportunity to where you walk up onto the stage. So if it randomly says you're selected for a golden chest, you're guaranteed at minimum of $25K, all the way up to $1 million. So you have to deal with a lot of like external distractions in that sense, but
and it definitely gives you some FOMO.
Yeah,
I know it gave me FOMO when I didn't bust that guy. I was like, man, it really what it was. It's like the average bounty was about $6,000, so it felt like I just got rivered for $6,000 there.
Yeah, so the $6,000 average, just for people who haven't listened to our Mystery Bounty episode, is kind of like what you do is, that's with all the bounties that are still available. So that number will change as bounties get pulled and as entries change, et cetera. But at that point in the tournament, yes, it was $6,000.
Yeah. Going into day 2, I should say. And none of the big bounties had been pulled. Like nothing over 25K had been pulled at the time. So, but yeah, because $300 from every entry went to the bounty. And there were there's about 5%, so 1/20th of the field left, meaning that the average bounty is 20x that 300.
It's so sick.
Yeah, so like, I think it was 940 something players were on day 2, and there was about $5.5 million in bounties. So yeah, about 6,000.
I mean, the truth is that you just can't beat the value. It's a structured tournament. I like that far more than the Gladiator, that's for sure.
I still got to be biased towards the Gladiator,
Just because it's your biggest score. I get it.
Even though I bricked 4 times this year.
Well, let's, okay, so that was good.
Do some hand reviews from the week.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's do that. So what happened after that? Was the 800 the next day?
No, so the same day was the 6 max.
Oh, that's right, the 1500 6 max. You fired that, right?
I played it, 1 bullet.
So we both busted the Mystery Millions and then go and fire the 1500 6 max.
Yeah, I had some interesting hands. Actually, this was kind of funny. So I had just busted, and I was all in on the very first hand of the 6 max.
Oh, you were?
It was just ace queen versus ace queen, so it wasn't really any drama.
Nice.
But yeah, I had some
Gets the blood flowing before the cards are flipped over, though.
Yeah, we were like 50 blinds deep, and there was a raise and 2 calls. I'm like, I'm gonna have to do this.
You sent it?
I 3-bet, and then actually there were 2 folds, a fold, then a call, then the guy who had overcalled pre-flop, he went all in. So
gross. And you called off?
Yeah, honestly, I felt like it was a great spot because he's never going to have ace, king, or queens plus.
Okay.
So I thought it was a great spot for me.
Interesting. Okay.
And
I feel like that's good intuition.
We got to chop up the other guy who put in, he called my 3-bet, so
okay.
That was fine.
That was kind of a painful tournament for me personally. I, right out of the gate, spun it up from 25K to 120 or 130K.
Wow, yeah.
So that was nice. And then I ended up just fizzling. I ended up winning on a spree where I couldn't win any pots. So
that's annoying.
Yeah, it happens. But ended up busting that short of the money. I think you did as well.
Yeah, right before dinner break, lost a flip and then a 70-30. But
I actually have a hand from that. So my table is full of mostly like European or foreign players. And then there's one older American guy and me. I think we're the only 2 Americans at the table. But anyways, you want to get into a quick hand history?
Yeah, I have a couple from that tournament as well. I think that's really, when I look back at the week, the only hands that I can think of from at least the live tournaments that I want to go over were from that one.
Yeah, same. I mean, this last week was, while I've been very busy playing poker, nothing too crazy, right? Like it's been an 800, some online stuff, nothing, too crazy. So for the 1500 6 max, it's 300 small blind, 600 big blind, 600 big blind ante. Mm-hmm. We're in the hijack with 35K, so we have 60 bigs. I opened 6-8 of diamonds to 1200.
Yep.
The big blind defends with 110K. He's the older gentleman, the older American gentleman.
Yeah. Is that like when you're opening that from the hijack? Are you always opening that, or are you targeting this specific big blind?
I'm targeting the big blind, but oftentimes this deep, I still will open this hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that range will change as I get shallower. At 60 bigs, I just feel confident in my ability to play. If I get like 3-bet from anyone, from cutoff or button, I can just fold this hand. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a spot where I can just kind of build chips. I'll play my opponent's post flop, especially the big blind, who I see as an amateur.
Yep.
He defends with 110K. The flop comes 4-6-9 with 2 spades.
Yep.
So I flop middle pair with a backdoor straight draw. At the 6-8 of diamonds, as a reminder, the big blind leads. This older gentleman leads 1,800, and we have middle pair. I think at this point we're always landing call.
Yep.
So I land on call. The pot is 6,900, giggity. The turn is a queen of diamonds. The big blind pretty quickly checks.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm still thinking I have showdown value. There's no need to inflate the pot with my specific hand. I could just have the best hand. That's kind of my vibe at the moment. So we land on check back. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like he flopped a pair.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I also think that my opponent sometimes has a 9 here.
So he flopped a pair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have a 4 as well.
Right. Yeah.
Or a 6 with a better kicker.
Yeah, I think I think based on the opponent type, like it's pretty clear this is almost always a pair.
Yeah,
of some
yeah.
sort.
I don't think he's gotten any like a flush draw or a straight draw. I feel like he has a pair.
He would consider betting again with those. Yeah.
Yep. So, anyways, we both check the queen of diamonds turn. The river comes a king of hearts, and the big blind, this older gentleman, quickly announces check, and he was visibly kind of like frustrated at the run out. You could tell, like he was like what a dumbass run out, right? And I'm thinking at this point, I'm like, my opponent has a 9 here. Or he either has a 6 with a better kick or a 9. So I decided to turn my hand into a bluff, and I bet 4K into the 6,900.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
So, I mean, my instinct would be to check just because we can win sometimes.
Yeah.
But if it's a situation where you think he's just always folding even a 9 here, I mean, I guess it doesn't even matter if it's really a 6 or a 9. If he's just not bluff catching and if he's going to believe you have a king, then...
I think he would believe that, obviously that's why I bet it. But I also think that, like, if I were to check, I sometimes win. Whereas if I bet, I'm always winning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I just know he doesn't have a queen or king, right? So I'm either bluffing him off a slightly better kicker or pair with a better kicker or a 9 here.
Yeah.
So I just I felt like it was a spot where I could guarantee taking down the pot instead of just kind of gambling on him not having a 9 or a better 6.
Yeah.
So we bet 4K, he snap folds, and yeah, that was nice. So I turned...
Very nice.
Yeah, it just seemed like a good spot to turn a second pair, or what was that, fourth pair at that point, into a bluff.
Yeah. I mean, if you're... Yeah, it sounded like your read was accurate, where whether or not you were ahead, he was pretty much always going to fold to the bet.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. So I ended up busting the 6 max. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. The structure in that tournament's incredible.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 interesting hands from this one. First one's against kind of a similar opponent, middle-aged guy, clearly a rec player at the table. And the second one's against someone who looks more like a pro. First one, we're at the 600 big blind level, same as you.
Same level, okay.
So he opens the small blind to 1,500, and I'm in the big blind. So first off, that's a pretty small open. When you're out of position like that, you want to go like 3.5x.
Yeah, so we maybe go like 2,200 or something.
Yeah, if he did, that would be a much more normal. Either way, so I had king deuce of diamonds.
Flat.
I'm going to call, yeah.
Yep.
So pot is 3,600. Flop is king with the 10-7 of diamonds. So I flop top pair with a flush draw.
Heads up in blind versus blind's very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, just a very strong hand in general. And I'm in position. So he c-bets 2,200.
I think I'm always landing on call here.
Yeah, just no reason to, if he has a king, like, he's going to be slightly favored.
Sometimes people will, like, amateur players will raise this spot because they feel like their hand is so strong because of the flush draw with the top pair. But the truth is, when you end up raising these spots, you often end up, if they end up continuing calling, you a lot of the times value own yourself.
Yes.
Especially if you don't end up hitting a diamond.
Yeah, and I'm in position, like, I can put more money in if I want.
Let me ask you, do you think it'd be a better time to just raise in position here if we had, say, a diamond draw with no pair and like a lower, a non-showdown value diamond draw?
It would be better. I may call or I may raise because, like, I'm in position, so I can still bluff if he checks the turn. But, yeah I could raise, the 6-4 of diamonds or whatever I might have. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good. The turn is just an offsuit 4. And he keeps betting, so he sizes down.
Remind me the board again. King
with the 10-7 of diamonds.
And
then
the 4X.
A 4,
okay.
Yeah. And so he bets 3,600.
We hate this. I mean, we don't. What I mean by that is it's like, oftentimes I feel like he should have a better hand than us by continuing to double here.
Maybe, yeah. Like, so the pot's 8K, and he bets 3,600, so it's less than half pot.
I don't hate it. I'm just like, all right, here we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I think what you're getting at is we would hate a river. If he bets turn, we call, and we don't improve, and he bets river, we're
in a tough spot.
Yeah. So he bets 3,600, and I think this is even more clear of a call, because, like...
And how many chips do you have behind?
Over 20K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're just not folding.
Yep. And...
He should be shutting down a lot, I feel like. Rivers, with bluffs.
Okay, so I'm curious, what makes you say that?
I just think that, like, you're number one, you're in position, and I think that after calling 2 streets, that I mean, it's also opponent dependent, but if he doesn't have value that he's wanting to, say he has a bluff here, I mean, he has no idea where he's at, right? So I feel like if he's going to be triple barreling as a bluff here, it's dangerous.
Yeah, I kind of think, like, let's say
Especially
he has,
out of position after you've called 2 streets.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly if he's bluffing, it's not comfortable. I think, like, let's say the diamonds miss and he has like 8-9 without a diamond.
I still got to go for it.
I think so, because I can have all these flush draws that are ahead of his hand,
Yeah, but I think this is an important time to take into consideration your opponent type. Is this the type of opponent that is going to be doing something like that? Does he seem competent or studied? Like, those are the type of opponents that will triple barrel more so than an amateur, I guess is my point.
Yeah. No, I was just talking about, because you had said it might be dangerous or might not be a good idea, I think is what you had said about the triple barrel. And I'm like, maybe there are plenty of draws I can have. So if he could barrel river only with the intention of getting me off of those and not like a pair. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
I mean, but say you had 6-4 of diamonds or something like that. Would he need to barrel the river? Because I mean, even he could just have queen high and be the head.
Yeah.
Or 8 high for whatever. Whatever.
So I mean, so the turn was a 4, but I know what you mean. Like 6-3 of diamonds.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're right. The thing is, though, I would say if he had ace high, for sure he should shut down. I think if he has a pair of any sort, he should not be betting. And so no, to answer the other part, like, this is the rec player at the table for sure.
Okay.
He's like the probably 50-year-old guy.
Okay.
He already had the sort of bad sizing pre-flop, and I'd seen him do some other bad sizing. So I don't think he's not like a clueless player.
I don't remember how the outcome of this, so let's hear it.
Yeah. So pot is 8K. He bet 3,600. I call turn. So pot is now like 15.2K.
Yeah.
And the river pairs the 10. So it's king 10-7 with the 10-7 of diamonds, offsuit 4, and then obviously offsuit 10. So that's an interesting card in that if he was betting for value on the turn, it's likely he had a better king, or he had like
and
aces.
That card should scare him a little bit.
Yeah, it should scare him a bit. Like, so this is tricky for him, and it might be a case where if he has a king, he should try and bluff catch my. Yeah. He should check call.
Yep. I like it.
But he thinks a bit, and he bets 7,900.
Jeez.
So it's about half pot, and it was kind of gross. So here were a few things I was thinking of. Obviously, if this is a value bet, I'm losing. So my instinct initially was to fold if he bet again.
Yeah.
And because kind of like you said, this player type isn't necessarily going to triple barrel bluff much. But I also will say sometimes in the World Series, you'll see people try and make big plays. And
they feel like they need to because they're playing against, top shelf opponents.
Yeah. And so
that is something to take into consideration for sure.
So I thought about this one for a while, and a couple of things came to mind. One is that I'm like, would he really have bet twice with a 10? Because obviously, if he has a 10, he wants to bet.
Or is he valuing, king, queen?
Right. And so that was my thought too. And I'm like, I mean, maybe ace king or king queen, but is he really going to comfortably bet the river again when the 10 pairs?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would turn those hands, ace king and king queen, into bluff catchers.
Yeah. And like, not that it would be wrong even, but it's hard to figure out in the moment which one you should do.
Big blind play blind versus blind play is difficult. We discussed this recently in an episode.
We did, yeah. And here's the other thing, and I think we mentioned this about maybe in one of our first couple episodes, is like a lot of times when rec players put out all the big chips, it's value. But this guy bet 7,900, so he could have bet 8K and put out just the normal denomination.
We've
But
discussed this. Yeah, it's
he
a
put,
live tell.
He put 4 of the 100 chips in, you know?
So this is
he
kind of
put in a lot of physical chips for his bet.
We have discussed this previous, but there's kind of a tell that you can get from opponents that are bluffing. When they bluff and they bet big, but they use all of their smaller denominations to make their bet physically look bigger, it's oftentimes a bluff.
Yeah, so that played into it for me. And so he also, like, you know, it's half pot roughly, so I need to only be right a little over 25% of the time.
Yep.
To make it profitable. So I kind of made a crying call here.
And he flips over.
It was kind of a surprising hand. He had Jack 4 of diamonds, so it was...
Oh, you had him just slaughtered.
Yeah.
He turned a pair, though.
He turned a pair, which is... So this was for him...
He should be checking turn.
He should be checking turn, and he should absolutely be checking river. Because he has a 4 now. So
and also, we probably shouldn't be raising this pre. I think we should just be...
He should probably just limp it in from the small blind. But I think I don't hate the raise pre-flop, and certainly bet your flush draw on the flop.
Yep.
I don't even hate the turn bet in the sense that, like, there's a lot of great river cards to bet again, and so this is sort of a...
Well, you're kind of building implied value if you hit your hand as well.
Yeah, like there was.
But with the 4, it kind of, you also have showdown value, so it's like...
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where he could maybe fold out a 7.
Yeah.
But once we get to the river, I think this is just mandatory for him to check and hope that I check back.
Yeah.
Which frankly, with a king without a kicker, I probably would have.
Okay. All right. Well, nice call there.
Yeah. It was an interesting.
And then I'm assuming you just kind of fizzled out from here.
No, I had 3 other tables after this. So the one other hand I want to go over is this was at the 600, 1200 level. So this was a professional looking player.
Okay.
So I had about a little over 40K to start the hand. So maybe 35 bigs.
Yeah.
And he opens to 2,500 in the cutoff. I decide to flat the button. I have King Jack offsuit with the Jack of clubs, which comes into play a bit here. Blinds fold, so the pot is 8,000. The flop is King with the 4-6 of clubs. So we'll just say...
So you got top pair at the back door, Jack high flush draw.
Yep.
Okay.
And he quickly c-bets 2,500. I call.
Pure call, yep.
13K in the pot. Turn is the 8 of clubs, so it's the 3rd club. So reminder, it's just King with the 4-6, 8 of clubs.
He should be checking here a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he did quickly check, and I didn't really know if this was a give up or if this was I have a showdown hand, but I'm not value betting.
Yep.
Or maybe a trap.
Or a trap. It could be all 3.
Yeah. I viewed him as he had been playing well so far, and I didn't, I took it as he's probably not really giving off obvious tells. So anyways, my thought was if he has like queens, jacks, 10s, 9, any one pair hands, like I'm going to try and get a little value from it.
So we bet here.
Yeah, and I did think about checking because it does suck to get check raised.
Yeah.
But I bet 4,200, so like a third of the pot. He thinks for a bit and check raises to 11.5K. And immediately I'm just hating it because, if I make the call, I have about 25K behind. So he can easily just shove the river. First off, I could be drawing dead here some of the time. Or he could correctly read into the strength of my hand. Like, to be clear, on this sort of board, I would bet 1/3 with my sets, with my flushes. But he may have thought he could exploit, because the hand I have kind of looks like I'm betting the strength of my hand,
right?
My bet sizing, So I think for a while, and I do figure he can have some like ace-x.
You land on all in, right? All right. All right.
That was some high-level humor there, because I think some people might think you weren't joking for a second. I call, and I'm just like, I guess a jack is a good river, because I can beat aces and ace-king then.
Did you hit river jack?
No. River was just an 8. and he just quickly checks, and I just am
You're
so
happy to
check
check back. Yeah, absolutely.
So it would have been a tougher hand if he had shoved the river.
I remember we talked about this hand. Okay, yeah.
Do you remember what he had?
Yeah, he had ace 10 with the 10 of clubs, I think.
He had no club.
Or no club, but
just
he had
ace 10 of spades.
Ace 10 of spades, yeah. So we talked about this because I think, like, I hate this play by him. I think that I would like it a lot more if he had the ace of clubs here.
Yeah, and this is where I was like, "Look at you GTO."
But that's, I mean, even if that is like a GTO thought, it's like that's kind of a standard thought too.
It is
it's
in the sense that like you clearly
it's basic logic in terms of
not only for the blocker, but you just have outs then.
Yeah.
The ace 10 of spades, like from a theory standpoint, this has to just be a punt.
He was I mean he was just like
he just
felt weakness and tried to go for it.
He did, and like maybe he actually picked up on something, but I think I used that sizing for anything I bet.
Yeah.
So I got to win the hand, and boy, I was relieved to see that check because I might still be thinking about it.
Well played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So we ended up. So what happened from there in the six max?
Yeah, I went up and down a bit, and then I peaked around. So starting stack was 25K. I got over 80 at some point, and then I think at level 12, I just lost a big flip, 10s versus king queen right before dinner, and then I doubled the next hand, and then I lost 10s versus ace deuce offsuit for the whole stack. Unfortunately.
Yep. That's sick.
Yeah, I was kind of annoyed. I've had, I think, 3 tournaments this trip where I've busted right before dinner break, which, most of the time is relatively close to the money. It's not, I wouldn't call any of them a bubble, but definitely you're invested enough where it feels like you can make a run.
I had a few, I had a few soft bubbles this week. So moving on past the 6 max, I played the 800 WSOP event.
You did? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I made it all the way. So there was, I want to say like 4,700 entries.
Yes.
And then I want to say 710 cashed. And
that sounds right.
And then there was 730 left, and they moved me from the Paris. So I'd been folding for 2 hours straight, just as absolutely carded as you could be. I just wasn't trying to make any punt spots, so I just kept folding. And I didn't have much fold equity. I had sub 10 bigs this entire time. They finally moved me from Paris to Horseshoe, which is a hike. And I'm like, man, maybe I'll make the money while I take this long ass walk.
The clocks are a little bit different.
I figured out they staggered the clock, so it doesn't really matter. But anyways, I go and sit down, fold for 2 orbits. I'm all the way down to 6 blinds. Still haven't played one hand at my new table. We're 20 off the money. And again, I have 6 big blinds. Folds to me on the button with ace 9 off. And it's like, I'm not convinced with the 30-minute levels that I could, with the 6 big blinds, make it into the money in the next orbit.
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced I could. So I went all in with ace 9, which definitely could not be bad.
Yeah, it's still like, even if you could make the money,
we're trying to win the
I think you
too.
Probably could have folded. But yeah, like this is a good enough spot where you're going to steal the blind some, and like your hand is just strong for when it folds. Obviously.
I feel like if I even just steal the blinds here and can get another extra orbit out of the deal, I then have the money cash locked up.
That's huge, yeah.
So I jam ace 9 off for 6 bigs exactly. Big blind, no hesitation, flicks in the call, and he's got king 9 off. So we find the absolute dream spot, right?
That's a really good spot.
Yeah. And if I double up here, I'm just absolutely guaranteed into the money. So he turns a king, and we soft bubble.
Yeah, those are painful, especially how you got it in so good. Like you were expecting he probably had 2 live cards.
I was expecting more of a 60-40 instead of a 70-30, I believe. Is that right? A little less, maybe like 28-72, something like that.
Yeah, you're probably 75-25.
Yeah, something like that. So
95-5.
I didn't have his suits covered, so that gives him a little. But it doesn't matter. We're getting we're getting nitpicking here. So I bust that, and then I built up another nice stack in the Aria 600. And I found a spot where it just felt like a mandatory. I had 24 bigs, and it was like, this might be difficult for listeners to understand in the moment, but without being in there. But I ended up 4-bet jamming ace jack off for my 24 bigs, where I opened, cut off, flatted, button 3-bet, and then folds back to me, and I jam. the story was that exactly 2 orbits earlier, the exact same thing happened where I opened the same position, cut off flat, and he 3-bet button. So I just thought this was a good squeeze spot. We're still like 50 from the money, but he snapped with ace king and we lose.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't value 4-bet ace jack there, by the way.
It's sort of like pre-flop. It's sort of. The term bluff or value pre-flop is a little different because
I can get
equities are much closer.
Right. So
you're hoping for a fold, but also like when he calls, he'll have some flips or.
I also and I also sometimes it can be. It's like a hybrid, right? It's like a bluff value kind of.
It's you think your equity against his range is good enough, and you're taking the spot. Obviously, like
I do not feel bad about it. I still feel like it was a good spot. I went with my gut and I stuck with it, right? So busted the aria. Not much else happening after that for me. We played the
Gladiator.
The Gladiator. Ran queens into ace queen, busted there. So I think this week has been, while not very successful, it's still been a fun week. My wife came into town last night.
There you go.
So I get this nice weekend off with her. We're going to go to Mastro's. We're going to go see Awakening at I think it's the Win. So looking forward to a nice weekend off of poker. Back at it for the 1500 freeze out on Monday, which is like my absolute favorite kind of tournament.
Those are fun ones, yeah. The freeze outs is a little more pure.
It's just pure, and I've discussed like my favorite format of tournament poker is pure poker, right? Pure no limit hold'em type tournament. So
absolutely, yeah. So there was, the 800. That was one of them I busted right before dinner. Not a lot of stuff to discuss from that. There was one very quick ICM spot from my online win last night that I wanted to just
let's get into it and we'll wrap up here.
Yeah, just because it was something we went over on the podcast that I actually learned from studying. For this, and it may have still
in our ICM episode.
Yeah,
we discussed this. Yeah,
it could have been even a mistake. Like maybe it was too light, but so it was a $33. There were 460 some entries, 73 left, 72 pay. I was in 38th or 39th, so I'm like locked up in the money. Except, I think when I told you this earlier, I probably had. I think he was in cutoff, so the opponent just shoves the cutoff, and it's a 6 max.
It's an ICM shove, essentially. So we're nearing the bubble. He's got the biggest stack, and he's just applying pressure to all hands.
Yep. So both the blinds had under 10 blinds, and I had 20 big blinds on the button. So I had pocket 7s, and my thought was if he had pocket 8s or better, he would min-raise to try and induce.
Induce, right.
So I'm expecting mostly a flip here, and then
sometimes dominated with lower pairs.
Yeah. Or, an ace-5 type thing, but... So I'm like, this could be a painful bust out, but...
Because you're locked up in the money. But if you've listened to our ICM episode, I love this.
Yeah, so what I took into consideration here is I have 20 big blinds, meaning if I win this pot, I'll have over 40. I'll actually be in a very good spot. It's almost different. It's sort of counterintuitive where if you're a short stack, you actually aren't trying to double as much because the double... you don't have as much leverage.
Say you have 8 big blinds and you double here, you're going to have 16, but you're still a short stack. Whereas if you have 20 and you double here, now you have a contention for a final table stack.
Yep. So as I've already said, I won the tournament, so clearly I won the pot. He had king 9 off, I had pocket 7s, I won the flip.
I feel like without winning this flip, you may not have won the tournament though, so...
Yeah. Well, certainly if I lost the flip, I would have busted. But I know what you mean.
Saying.
If I had folded, it would have been a lot harder. And I was a top 10 stack at that point. Obviously, a lot more things had to go right. But I just wanted to mention that because it was something we actually have discussed here and something we've actually studied for creating this content.
That's really cool. Yeah. So, when you told me that, I was like, let's go. And then you ended up winning the tournament.
Yeah.
It's nice to get that momentum again under your belt.
It is, and that, I think these next 2 days I'm just going to grind online, and like you said, Monday we're going to fire the 1500 freeze out.
Back at it.
Yeah.
Back at it. So, it's going to take the time this week and rest off. We have some patches in the works. They should be here hopefully in time for the Monster. If you're interested in getting a patch, we'll hand them out to you guys free of charge. We'd love to have you rocking them while you're sitting at the table. Whatever, just let us know. You can send us a message, hop in the Discord, let us know. So we'll meet up with you.
Perfect.
Yeah. What do you got going on today, Wes, online?
Yeah, so there's a bracelet event, there's a ring event, there's some other events on WSOP, and then a couple global tournaments.
Okay, and then after my wife leaves tomorrow, I might fire the $333 buy-in. Is that right?
Yep, another bracelet event
online. So yeah, that's going to be the plan for the week, and we'll follow up with another episode. Hopefully after I win the 1500 freeze out early next.
I'll
week.
just take one of the online ones. That's okay.
That sounds good to me, brother. Guys, make sure to hop in the Discord. You know how it is. If you haven't been in there yet, we're up to 175 deep now. Thing is popping off. A lot of our listeners are out in Vegas, hitting scores, having a good time, talking poker. Good luck to all of you guys. Looking forward to coming and sweating you guys at some final tables.
And until then, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, weekend.
We got him, guys.